reported claims that the signing of the Student Loan Act was responsible for some of the hike in the university charges. Adeogun said that in spite of the charges, the universities had not been able to meet up with some of their expenses. He said that modalities had been put in place for the takeoff of the students' loans scheme in the 2023-2024 academic calendar. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has assured Nigerians that there will be no increase in the pump price of premium motor spirits, PMS, or petrol anywhere in the country. The special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngalale, noted that the market has been deregulated and will remain so. He emphasized that government will address the inefficiencies within the midstream and downstream petroleum subsectors to maintain prices where they are without having to resort to a reversal of the administration's policy in the petroleum industry.
Nigeria is presently averaging between 568 and 630 naira per liter. We are presently the cheapest, most affordable purchasing state in the West African sub-region by some distance. There's no country that is below 700 naira per liter. So this is the backdrop. We have seen that at the inception of our deregulation policy as of June 1, as Mr. President took office, we have seen PMS consumption in the country drop immediately from 67 million liters per day consumption down to 46 million liters per day consumption. The impact is evident. What it also does mean, though, is that we are not at the end of the tunnel. There is still a bit of darkness to travel through to get toward the light. And we are pleading with Nigerians to please be patient with us.
This comes less than 24 hours after the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC Limited, said it had no plan to raise the pump price of petrol. The NLC president, Joe Ajaero, on Monday warned that it would embark on an indefinite strike in the event of another petrol price hike by the NNPC Limited. Oyo State government has approved the sum of 3.2 billion naira for the operations and maintenance of the Light Up Oyo project to improve economic activities at night and complement security. Commissioner for Energy and Natural Resources, Barrister Sheon Ashamu, will disclose this at a press briefing shortly after a meeting of the State Executive Council, explained that the cost will also offset backlog of outstanding and cover the repairs of vandalized cables. Ashamu also cautioned against any act of vandalism of public infrastructure, particularly the Light Up Oyo project facilities, as offenders will be prosecuted in line with statutory state laws.
We have also already commenced the maintenance aspect of the public lights. So in the areas where there have been collisions with the public lighting infrastructure, or there have been areas of vandalism on the cables, we'll let the members of the public know that the administration intends to enforce the rule of law. At the back end of the last term in office, we passed the laws and the regulations that allow prosecution of those caught vandalizing public infrastructure. And our intention is to abide by those rules and regulations. So we appeal to residents in the state not to vandalize the public lighting infrastructure.
Also, Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning, Professor Babatunde Musibao, said approval has been granted for the purchase of 100 units of Kia Rio operational security vehicles and 5 units of Kia Optima to beef up security across the state with an estimated cost of 3.35 billion naira.
Council actually agreed that to the purchase of 100 units of Kia Rio 1.4 liter car and 5 units of Kia Optima 2.0 liter engine to boost security across the 33 local government areas of the state, and they are going to be branded in the security color of the state as well. So those two decisions were taken today, and this is going to be distributed across the 33 local governments and basically this is actually to enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of our security operatives in this state.
Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Prince Dotun Oyelade, who presided over the briefing, also hinted on the approval of the Executive Council to saddle the Commissioner for Finance, Mr. Akinola Ojo, the responsibility of coordinating the state economy in the post-fuel subsidy removal era. Moving on, the federal government will on Thursday arraign the suspended Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Godwin Emefiele and his associates for 6.9 billion naira procurement fraud at the Federal Capital Territory High Court, Maitama, Abuja. Emefiele will be arraigned alongside a female CBN employee, Sadatu Yaro, and her company, April 1616 Investments Limited, on 20 charges of procurement fraud, conspiracy, and conferring corrupt advantages on his associates. Emefiele, who had been in detention since was suspended from office on June 9 by President Bola Tinubu, was accused of conferring corrupt advantages on Yaro, a director in April 1616 Investments Limited. If convicted, Emefiele may be sentenced to 5 years imprisonment without an option of a fine. National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, has begun orientation of 1,161 corps members at the renovated Arabic Teachers College ATC camp in Borno State. The exercise, slated for next Friday in Maiduguri, would hold at the 3,000 capacity camp, which has hostels as well as water and electricity supplies for the corps members. NYSC State Coordinator Mohammed Adamu stated the military, police, and other security agencies have assured of the security of the personnel, orientation resource persons, and the corps members in the renovated camp. He noted that the resumption of the orientation was 12 years after Boko Haram began terrorism in the state. On the strategic location of the camp, he said the renovated ATC camp of the state's government is located in the midst of security agencies' head office along Airport Road. Adamu therefore allayed the fears of parents and guardians over the safety of their children and wards during their 3-week orientation. 8 to 1 p.m. news on Splash 105.5 FM. Still ahead, West African military chiefs to discuss Niger crisis on Thursday and Friday. Ukraine again threatens to boycott Paris 2024 if Russians compete. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll bring you more stories. Please stay with us.
Oṣù mẹ́fà ẹ bá mi dúpẹ́. Oṣù mẹ́fà ẹ bá mi dúpẹ́. Ó ti yẹ kóṣù mẹ́fà nìyẹn. Ọmọ ò máa ń pẹ́ dàgbà o. Báyìí o, ọmọ rẹ ti wá nílò ju omi ọyàn nìkan lọ o. Àkókò ti tó láti máa fún un ní oúnjẹ fífọ́ ní àfikún sí ọyàn. Rí i dájú pé àwọn oúnjẹ ọmọ rẹ ní ó kéré tán ọ̀kan lára àwọn oúnjẹ àfọ́pọ̀ márùn-ún wọ̀nyí. Ẹyin, ẹja tàbí ẹran, èso àti ewébẹ̀, epo tàbí òróró, ẹ̀wà, ẹ̀pà tàbí sóyà, ìrẹsì, ọ̀dùnkún, àgbàdo tàbí iṣu. Ọmọ rẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti oṣù mẹ́fà nílò omi ọyàn àtàwọn oúnjẹ wọ̀nyí fún ìdàgbàsókè àti ìlera. Máa fún wọn lọ́yàn títí yóò fi pé ọmọ ọdún 2 àti jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ.
Ìkéde yìí wá láti àkànṣeṣẹ́ ARIN, iléeṣẹ́ tó ń mójútó ètò ìlera ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́.
Iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná a máa fúnni ní ìmọ́lẹ̀ a sì máa mú ìdẹ̀rùn wá láti wá dènà ìjàmbá iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná. Ojúlówó wáyà tàbí kébù ló yẹ ká fi fa iná nínú ilé, lọ́fíìsì àti nínú ìlú. Purchem wires and cables ní àwọn ilé-iṣẹ́ mọ̀nàmọ́ná àti àwọn agbaṣẹ́ṣe yàn láàyò. Ojúlówó ni, kì í bó lára, kò kì í jóná àbáàdì, kì í kán sínú, ó sì fini lọ́kàn balẹ̀. Ìdí nìyí tí Standard Organization of Nigeria fi fòǹtẹ̀tẹ̀ tí Nigeria Electrical Contractors náà fi dìbò fún. Bí copper cable ṣe wà ní aluminium cable ń bẹ nípele lówó tí kò gún pa. Purchem wires and cables tó jẹ́ ọ̀kan lára àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ Kaman ló ṣe ojúlówó wires and cable jáde. Olú iléeṣẹ́ Purchem wires and cables limited wà ní Afrin's compound, Fort Gate, number 122/132, Oṣòdì Apapa Expressway, Ìyànà Ìsọlọ̀ bus stop, Lagos. Ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ wọn ní 080-803-03257. Purchem wires and cables. Ìrọ̀rùn fi iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná.
Now that you have finished SS3 exams. What's next? Enroll for A-level program at OBMS Cambridge Advanced Level College, Total Garden, Ibadan for Cambridge A-level or JUPEP A-level program. It is your best option for admission into 200 level in Nigerian universities or admission to overseas universities. OBMS A-level college is known for excellent teaching, outstanding results, affordable fees, moral and spiritual development of students, and conducive boarding facilities. At OBMS A-level college, we also offer SATs, TOEFL, IELTS, GCE, UTME, and post-UTME coaching. For more information, visit our new complex along Total Garden NTA Road, Ibadan. Website www.obmsng.com. Contact us on 0803-386-1091 and 0803-303-9588. OBMS A-level college. Excellence through integrity.
Glad you're still with us. It's still the news at 1 o'clock on Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. Welcome back. Now turning to the foreign scene. Military chiefs from the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, will meet in Ghana on Thursday and Friday to discuss a possible military intervention in Niger. The meeting was called after the bloc's leaders last week approved the deployment of a standby force to restore constitutional order in Niger, whose elected president was toppled by the military on July 26. Regional military and political sources says the meeting was originally scheduled for Saturday in Accra, but was postponed to this week as ECOWAS continues efforts to negotiate with the Abdurrahman Chiani-led military government in Niamey. President Mohamed Bazoum's election in 2021 was a landmark in Niger's history, ushering in the first peaceful transfer of power since its independence from France in 1960. His ouster unleashed a shockwave around West Africa, where Mali and Burkina Faso, which like Niger, have been struggling to contain armed groups, have also suffered military takeovers. Still away from Nigeria, North Korea has claimed that the United States soldier who crossed the border last month did so because he was seeking refuge from inhumane maltreatment and racial discrimination in the U.S. The comments, published in state media on Wednesday, are Pyongyang's first public statement on Travis King, who crossed from South Korea into North Korea on July 18th while on a tourist tour of the joint security area that separates the two countries. North Korea said that King confessed to crossing the border illegally with the intent to stay in North Korea or in a third country. However, U.S. officials have said they believe King crossed the border intentionally and have declined to classify him as a prisoner of war. Finally, sports news. Ukraine has once again threatened to boycott the 2024 Paris Olympics if Russian and Belarusian athletes are allowed to compete. Ukrainian Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal said that 35 other countries are ready to join the boycott for fair sport, but did not name them. Shmyhal added that he expects the International Olympic Committee, IOC, to make a correct decision and thus exclude the Russians in view of Moscow's war in Ukraine. In January, Ukrainian Sports Minister Vadim Gotsait, who is also the president of the country's Olympic Committee, had issued a similar threat. He had threatened that Ukraine was ready to boycott the Games in case Russian and Belarusian athletes were allowed to participate. IOC initially banned Russia and Belarus from international sports events after Moscow invaded Ukraine in February 2022. However, a few months ago, it recommended to sports federations to allow Russians and Belarusians return as neutral athletes in individual events and under strict conditions. On that note, it is a wrap on the news at 1 o'clock, but just before we go, a recap of the headlines. Federal government has said no federal university is allowed to charge tuition fees. NYC has reopened orientation camp in Borno State 12 years after. On the foreign scene, we told you that West African military chiefs set to discuss Niger crisis on Thursday and Friday, while in the exciting world of sports, Ukraine again has threatened to boycott Paris 2024 if Russians compete. For more details on the news, please visit our website on www.splashfm1055.com. Now you can download the Splash FM mobile app on iOS and Google Play Store to listen live, get news updates, opinion poll, and you can also report an event live to us through the iReport feature. To download, simply go to any of the stores mentioned and search for Splash FM 105.5, then click to download. We have now come to the end of the news on Splash 105.5 FM, the integrity station and the best radio station in the southwest of the country. The news editor is Tunde Olawowo, assisted by Chinwe Churchill. I am Catherine Adeogun. Good afternoon and thank you for listening.
Quick, charge at 240.
Hot news, cool vibes, sports, and more on the Integrity Station.
Splash FM 105.5.
Kola Oremi, wetin do you?
Kunle, this fuel matter tire me.
Shebi I tell you say I just buy TVS HLS Okada with Ajo money. Now I know they worry again about fuel because TVS HLS Okada no dey chop fuel at all. With shikini fuel, I dey work plenty. Now I dey